guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy that you're here. My name is Madison. As you can see from the title of today's video, it's going to be a baby names I love but won't be using video. I'm so excited about this. If you know me personally, you know I've had a baby name list in my phone since I was like 15 years old. So this has been a long time coming and I loved watching these videos before I was pregnant. And I'll just always love watching them. I just love hearing other people's baby names. It's just so fun to me. And yeah, I've had a really long list on my phone for years and years. Ever since we got pregnant, I'm due in August, if you're new here, with our first baby boy. But ever since I got pregnant, I actually went through my list and like edited it. I went through and deleted a bunch of names and I was like, what was I thinking? And I actually have added a lot of names since then. So this is kind of the revised list over the years, but I feel like I've really narrowed it down to some of my favorite baby names. Like I said, we're having our first baby boy in August, so we're just like a couple months out from his due date. We're so excited, it's our first, and his name we do have picked out. I'm going to wait to share it until he's born, just because I love that. I love that for other people too, when they wait. It's just like one thing that you can keep secret between you and like your loved ones or your family or just like you and your partner. But it's also just so much fun to like announce it whenever they're here, to like introduce them to the world. So yeah, we actually have known his name, I feel like, for a really long time. Ever since my husband Kyle and I went on our first date, I told him my favorite boy name and he liked it, and that's the one that we ended up picking. So we've actually kind of known for years what our first boy would be. Girl names were a lot harder for me. I always knew the boy name that I loved. It's been at the top of my list forever. If you're like a friend or a family member, you know you weren't surprised at all when we told you what his name was gonna be, because it's literally been at the top of my baby name list since I was like 16. So yeah, I cannot wait to share it with you guys. I don't know if I really have like a style of baby name that I like. I don't know. I would say his name is definitely more classic. I'll just like put it that way. It's definitely not like super unique or weird or rare, but I also don't feel like it's super common. Like, I don't personally know that many people with his name, and like growing up in school and stuff like that, I maybe knew like a couple. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about his name that I just love. So I won't like tease it anymore. I'll definitely share it with you guys when he's born in a couple months. So stay tuned for that. But today's video, I want to share with you guys just like all the names that I have left on my list. I've narrowed it down to like, I feel like 10 boy names and 10 girl names, maybe a little bit more. And they're kind of like all over the spectrum, I feel like, as far as style. I feel like some of the names that I like are really like simple and classic, and then like some of them are kind of out there and you might be like, what the heck? But the good thing about baby names is it's okay if you don't like it. You don't have to use it. And I think it's really fun whenever people come up with like really unique names that they like, because it's for their child, not mine. And so I feel like it's okay to like a name, it's okay to dislike a name, but just like be kind about it. If someone names their baby something you don't like, be kind to them, because that name obviously means a lot to them and it's something that they like, which is all that matters because it's their baby. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and get into it. I definitely want you guys to comment any baby names that you love down below, and if any of these names you like or like you have a favorite from this list, comment down below your favorite name. But yeah, I'm really excited to just like dive in. Okay, I always had girl names at the top of my list. Now I know this video is typically like baby names I love but won't be using. We truly honestly do not know what we would name a second baby if we have one, if we're like blessed enough to have a second child. We have some ideas of girl names that we like one boy name that we like. I might keep them in the list, I might not, we'll see, but I'm not like exiting any of these from us being able to use them. But nevertheless, I'm still gonna share it with you guys because I don't really care if you guys hear them and then we end up using them like a few years down the road. Okay, we'll start with girl names. I really do love like unisex girl names. So there are a couple of those on here, but then at the same time, I have some like really girly girl names on here. So like I said, I feel like my style is all over the spectrum. So my first girl name that I really love is Mason. I love the name Mason for a girl. I don't know why. I feel like I just added this to the list like a year ago maybe. I just thought it sounded really nice. My last name is Marion, so I will say Kyle and I have kind of started looking into like M names. Not saying that his is an M name, it may or may not be, but we kind of do like that alliteration. So yeah, I kind of started looking into some M names for boys and for girls whenever we got pregnant, and Mason was one of those that's obviously usually a very popular boy name. You don't usually hear that often for girls, but I personally really like it for a girl name. I think I would love if my name was Mason. I feel like that's so cute. I feel like Mason Marion sounds really good. I don't know, I just really love that name, so that's definitely at the top of my list. Another unisex name that I really love that I do get some like questionable looks from people whenever I tell them is Noah. I love the name Noah for a girl. If you were to ask me like a year ago if this baby was a girl, I probably would have said that her name would be Noah. I just think it's such a pretty name. I don't know what it is about that name. I just feel like, wait, sorry, I got cut off by my dog barking at the mailman. But yeah, I just absolutely love that name. I feel like it just like flows off your tongue. I feel like it's just so pretty, and I feel like it's overlooked as a girl name. I know Noah is a very common boy name, but I don't really know why there's not more girls named Noah. I feel like it's just such a pretty name. So I don't know, I will say I definitely get mixed opinions from people when I mention that name. Like some people kind of like it, some people like hate it, some people really love it as much as I do. It's definitely different, but let me know what you think about the name Noah. I think it's so pretty for a girl. All right, the next girl name that I love is Mallory. I don't know why, I feel like that also just like flows off the tongue. I feel like all of these girl names are names that I would like if they were my name. I just feel like Mallory is such a pretty name. It's not super common. I don't really know any Mallorys, I don't think. Honestly, I don't think I've ever even met a Mallory, but it's not a totally unique name, not like a weird name. So yeah, I don't know why. I just have always loved that name, and I feel like it's just so pretty. One of my favorite names that I've always had at the top of my list is Margot for a girl. Again, so pretty. I feel like it's so underrated. I don't know why there's not more Margos out there. I don't know any Margos, never met a Margot, but I feel like I would love if my name was Margot. It's just so pretty. I would personally spell it probably like M-A-R-G-O-T. I feel like you could leave the T off, but I feel like that's like the more classic way to spell it. Again, I feel like Margot Marion also just sounds really good, kind of flows. So yeah, really love Margot. This one is kind of like short and sweet, but I really love the name May. We're kind of sticking with the M theme here because I have a lot of M names, but I love the name May. I just think it's so pretty. You could spell it either like M-A-Y, like the month, or M-A-E, which I think is really pretty as well. I just like how simple and short it is. I know a lot of people use May for a middle name for a girl, but I think it would be really pretty just as like a simple first name. I love it. Okay, this next name, if you would have asked Kyle and I like 3 or 4 years ago, we definitely would have said this was like one of our top girl names, and that's Josephine, and we call her Jo. My grandma's name is Josephine, Kyle's grandma's name is Josephine, and we both love the name Jo for a girl. We kind of like that unisex vibe, but I feel like Jo has become a lot more common. I don't know if you guys feel that way. I just have met a lot of like people who have the nickname Jo, not always like Josephine, but like Jordan or Josie. I don't know, I just feel like it's becoming a little bit more common. One of my best friends named her daughter Josie, so I feel like once she kind of named her Josie, it kind of like took that off the table for us to name our daughter Josephine and call her Jo, because my husband probably would like call her Josie or something. I personally just like love J-O for a girl name. I just think it's so pretty. I don't know why. I just really love that name. We have kind of like strayed away from that name, I will say, now that one of my best friends used a similar name, and now that it's just becoming like a little bit more common, but I do still think it's really pretty. This one is a little bit more niche, a little bit more me. I don't know why. I've always loved this name, and I haven't met a single person that likes it as much as I do, but I really love the name Sunny for a girl, like S-U-N-N-Y. I think I heard this on like a TV show a couple years ago. There was a girl named Sunny, and I don't know, she just had like a really good vibe in the TV show. You know, if you like know someone with a name that you really like, it obviously helps you like the name more, and like the opposite if you don't like someone with a name. But yeah, her name was Sunny, and I was like, that is so unique. I mean, like, when do you ever meet a girl named Sunny? I feel like it's unique, but not like super weird unique. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let me know what you think about the name Sunny. I personally think it's so cute. I would love if my name was Sunny. I just personally really, really like it. This next name I've also always liked. I've always had it on my list, but it's been one of those names I don't know. It's like I knew I would never use it for my own baby, but I love when other people are named this. And that name is Sienna. I think Sienna or Vienna, I have both of them on my list, are really, really cute. I don't know why I'm so drawn to that name. I think it's just like how it rolls off your tongue, like Sienna, Vienna. I just think is such a pretty name. And I have had some like students in the past, were just like students at the schools that I work at, with the name Sienna, and every time they like call their name in the hallway or I hear someone say their name, I'm always like, oh, I just like love that name. I don't know why. I think it's just so, so pretty. So yeah, I've had that on my list forever, but I do think it's a name that I'll never personally use. I don't know why. I know I'll never use it, but I love it. This next one is very simple, very classic. I've loved it ever since I was a little girl, and that name is Anna. Whenever I was a little girl, I had a friend named Anna who I just like loved her name. I remember I wished it was my name. I thought she was so cool, so pretty, so fun. I just thought it was like such a cool name, and I honestly have never really known many Annas since then. And I know it's like super classic, very common, but I love the name Anna, and so I've always had that on my list because I thought that'd be such a pretty name for a girl to name her Anna one day. But yeah, I don't know. I know that one's really just like simple and common, but I love it. The next one is Esme. I just added this to my list pretty recently, but I think it's so pretty. I feel like it might be a more like modern, trendy name. Especially, I feel like I could see it becoming more popular in the next like couple years. But yeah, I think Esme is just so pretty. It just like, again, rolls off your tongue. It's short. I think you would spell it E-S-M-E. I think a lot of people do use this as like a middle name, but yeah, I just think Esme is so pretty. Another kind of unisex girl name that I like is Elliot. Again, this one might be a little bit more like modern and trendy to like today's times, but I really think Elliot is a really pretty girl name. I know it's a very common boy name, but again, I think there should be more girls named Elliot. I just really like it. If you guys have seen Scrubs, one of the doctors on there, her name is Elliot, and I just like really, really love that. So yeah, I don't know. I've had that on my list just recently and considered it, but I don't know if I would ever actually use it. Okay, this next one's a little bit out there, but it's a name that I recently saw and I was like, wow, that is so pretty, and it's Meadow. I feel like this is definitely probably my most like out there name on my list, especially considering like how classic of a name I chose for him, but I just feel like Meadow is so pretty. I think I just saw someone post on Instagram like they had a baby and they announced that their name was Meadow. It was a little girl, and it's just so pretty, so feminine. I don't know, it's easy to spell, easy to say. I feel like it's definitely unique, but really, really like classy and pretty at the same time. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about that name. I just think it was really cool, very unique. This next name that I like is Maeve. I added this on my list probably a couple years ago, and ever since then I've had a few friends tell me that this is probably like their top baby girl name. So I don't think I'd ever use it, just because I know quite a few friends that it's like their top name and they want to use it. But yeah, I think Maeve is so cute. I feel like you could spell it maybe a couple different ways, probably like M-A-E-V-E. But yeah, it's just like cool girl vibes. I feel like if your name is Maeve, it's just like so cool. I really like it. It's really unique. You don't really hear it that much, but it's still like a really, really pretty name. Okay, and the last name I have for girls is Magnolia, and you can call her Maggie. I feel like Magnolia is such a pretty name. Again, kind of out there, kind of unique, maybe a little weird to some people. It actually came about because I love magnolia trees. Like, fun fact about me, I love them. I want a huge one in my yard one day at like a future house, and Kyle and I were looking at a magnolia tree one day, and I was like, oh, Magnolia would be like a really pretty name for a girl, and he really, really liked it when I said it, and he was like, yeah, we could call her Maggie, like that'd be so cute. And so we kind of went back and forth on that name for a really long time. So it's still on my list. It's not like a no. I don't think it's my top girl name anymore, but I do really, really think that's such a sweet name for a little girl named Magnolia. You could call her Maggie, or you could call her like Noli. That'd be so cute too. Okay, moving on to boy names. So my baby boy's name is at the top of the list. I'm not gonna share that one quite yet, but I will share a few more. I feel like a lot of these names are kind of maybe a little bit more like classic. you could say, for boys. The first one is Dean. Dean has been at the top of my list for a really, really long time. It's not off the table for us. I don't think Kyle really likes the name Dean. I've mentioned it to him a couple times, and I even brought it up for this baby. I don't think he dislikes it, but it's just like not his favorite. But I just think Dean is such a cool guy name, and I really like just like that short, simple, classic, like manly name. And yeah, I just think Dean, such a cool name. Next name is Felix. I personally love the name Felix. I have an uncle Felix, and he's awesome. And so I feel like, again, you know, someone with a name that has like cool vibes, it helps you like the name even more. And yeah, I just feel like it's a really, really cool name. It'd be like Felix, I think is how I would spell it. But yeah, love the name Felix. Next one is Drew. I love the name Drew. Every single time I like hear someone name their baby Drew, or I meet someone named Drew, I'm always like, oh my God, I love that name so much. I don't know what it is about this name. There's nothing really like crazy or special about it. I just think it's so cute for a boy to name him Drew. It's so funny because Andrew, I don't like that's like to me a totally different vibe than just Drew. I love the name Drew, definitely high up there. This next name we highly considered for this baby, and that is Milo. We loved how Milo Marion sounded, again, going with like that M theme. And we went back and forth on it for a pretty long time. I just think Milo is such a pretty name for a boy. I feel like it's cute. It's definitely a little bit more like trendy. But I don't feel like it's too common. You hear it every now and then, but it's still kind of unique. And I feel like it is kind of Italian, and my husband's Italian, so he kind of liked that it was a more Italian vibe. But yeah, it's still a really cute name that we have on our list. Next name is Bo. I love this name. One of my best friends said that it's like one of her top baby names, so I doubt we will use it, although she told me like I could if I wanted to. But it would be B-E-A-U. I feel like just like that spelling alone is just so cute, classic. I love that it's short and simple. I feel like that's definitely a common theme for boy names that I like. Yeah, I don't know, I just think that name is so cute. This one, again, I get very mixed opinions on, but I like the name Marlo for a boy. I feel like Marlo is maybe a more common girl name. It's still very unique, like not a very common name, but I feel like Marlo for a boy, like M-A-R-L-O would be really cute, and like Marlo Marion. Definitely unique, not necessarily like it doesn't go with like the vibe of the other names that I like, but I think it's really cute. This next one is very classic. It's Oliver. I feel like Oliver is just such a precious name. You hear it pretty often nowadays. Maybe you could call him like Ollie. I just think that's so cute, and I like Oliver. I feel like it's timeless, like it can grow with them. As like an older man, he can still be named Oliver, but I also think it's a really cute baby name. So yeah, always have loved the name Oliver. Next name is Miles. I think Miles is a really cute boy name, and I think it goes well, again, the alliteration with my last name. And yeah, it's not like my top name, but it's just a name that I've recently added because I think it's really cute. This next name I love. It's August, and he's due in August, and so I definitely for a minute was like, should his name be August? Because I love that name so much. But I'm still gonna keep it on my list because I just think it's so cute. A teacher friend of mine recently had a baby named August, and she called him Augie, which if I had a baby named August, I think personally I'd probably just call him August. I don't think I'm super into Augie or Gus. I know those are like common nicknames for August, but I love the name August itself and wouldn't change it. So I love that name. Next one is Ezra. I think Ezra's a really cool boy name, and you don't hear it very often. And I would spell like E-Z-R-A. I think like having the Z in there is a really cool name. It's kind of different, just like cool boy vibes. I think Ezra is just a really cool name. This next one is Rhodes. I recently fell in love with this name. I think I just added it like a couple months ago, and I don't know what it is about this name. I just think it's so cool and so unique. I feel like Rhodes is a common like middle or last name even, but you don't hear it often as a first name. And I would spell it like R-H-O-A-D-E-S. I just think that'd be a really, really cool name. Rhodes Marion. I don't know. It's definitely gonna stay on my list. Okay, and then the last boy name is Denver. This one's kind of out there too, but I just love that name. This is kind of another name that I hear other people say. Like I've known a couple Denvers or like students named Denver, and every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Like that's such a cool name. I'm not from Denver. I've never even been to Denver, but I still just think it's a really, really cool name. So yeah, I added that to my list. Again, it's like one of those names, I don't know if I'm cool enough to like name my kid Denver, but I think it's a really, really cool name. Okay, and that about wraps it up. At the bottom of my list, I have a few like middle name options, so I'm not really gonna share those. I just have those on there just in case we had like another boy and weren't sure like what to do for his middle name. For middle names, I like to use family members or like loved ones' names. I just feel like that's the easiest way to incorporate a loved one into their name, is put it as their middle name. And so his middle name will be after a loved one of ours, a family member. And so I think I would always keep that tradition, even if it was my middle name, which is Lee, or Kyle's middle name, which is Anthony. Those are two like very top contenders for middle names for future kiddos. But yeah, this was so much fun. I'm so excited to share with you guys his name once he's born. And yeah, who knows if we have a girl next, it might be one of these names on the list, or by that time I might have like a new favorite girl name. If we have another boy, I really have no idea, because this was the only like for sure one I ever knew I would use, but we might end up picking one of these names from the list. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely comment down below which names were your favorite from my list, maybe names that were not your favorite from this list. It's okay if we all have like different tastes, different opinions, and definitely comment your favorite baby names down below, because I'm always on the lookout for new baby names that I want to add to my list. So I love and appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for watching, and keep an eye out for my next video. I have a vlog coming live very, very shortly. Hit that subscription button if you're not subscribed, and that notification bell if you want to be notified. And yeah, I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.